Hey, right on, my friends. It's Chris here. Hope everybody's having a fantastic now. Um, yeah, I was just checking the thing down here. It was spinning a wheel and it was kind of freaking me out again. But hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Chris. And like I said before, I hope everybody's having a fantastic and embracing a wonderful, wonderful now. It's beautiful here today. Our sun is shining, so was able to get out and get some good vitamin D. Right? We gotta get a lot of that right now. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about what I believe to be the most powerful force in the universe, the uh, the experience that every single one of us is wanting all of the time, and that is this idea of love. Right? It's one of those things. It's one of those words. It's one of those experiences. It's one of those concepts that gets used. We use it all the time. I believe from the time we're born to the moment we leave this plane, what we're really wanting is the experience of love, right? Whether means to be loved or whether that means to love, we want the experience of love. And the concept has been defined by so many throughout our existence, whether it's the poets, the sages, whether it's theologians, whether it's anyone. How do you define love? Because there's different versions of love. I love spaghetti, probably not like I love you, right? So there are different versions of love. The experience I want to talk about today is that experience that we feel when we are validated, when our essence is completely welcomed and validated. That feeling that you remember when you close your eyes when you're a small child and you've skinned your knees and your mom and your daddy scoops you up and holds you tight and you feel safe, you feel loved. So that's kind of what I want to talk about today because I think that's the experience that all of us want more of, right? I mean, let's be honest about it. We all want to feel more love and to be more loved. So that's a little bit what I want to discuss today. Now, there's a wonderful book written, oh geez, maybe 30ish years ago, called the Five Love Languages, and it was written by a guy named Gary Chapman, and he did a really nice job of, I think, identifying what he called languages, meaning the idea that love is spoken in many different languages, and a lot of times it's just not interpreted correctly. And he identified five of them, and they're words of affirmation. Those good words. Hey, you're awesome, right? Quality time. The idea of actually having someone want to be present with me. The idea of receiving gifts, and I think also just as important as giving gifts, because I know my mother. I think that's how she expresses love for all of us is giving gifts. She may drive hours to pick up some little knickknack, and we may receive it and go, "Wow, mom, really? You drove all that way to get that?" And then, once you realize that that was her way of saying "I love you," it changes everything. There's acts of service. There's doing something for somebody, just a gesture, right? Whether it's mop the floor, take the garbage out, shovel somebody's driveway. Hey, clean their windshield wipers off or clean their windows off, and they don't even know it. It's a way of saying love. And of course, physical touch. Every time I go over this with dudes, they're always like, what? There's more ways of love than physical touch. I'm like, right on, man. There are lots of different ways. So, but I'm not going to break each one of them down today. I think they kind of speak for themselves. The idea is that when this is happening, am I experiencing it? Do I experience this as love? We all have a primary way that we receive love, right? Mine happens to be physical touch, and that could be holding a hand or a shoulder rub or whatever the case might be, physical touch and quality time, having be present with me. Okay. Whether I'm dancing around a bonfire or whether I'm doing whatever, be present. Okay. But what I'd like to do today is share an experience that I had just a couple of years ago that really, really drove this point home to me. And it was a really nice experience. So I was actually in the gym getting ready. I was in the locker room and had taken a shower. And I was just getting dressed and getting clothes on. And there was just another guy in the gym in the locker room with me at the time. And he was a kind of an elderly guy, probably in his 70s. And he was maybe off about 5 or 10 feet away from me. And all of a sudden his phone rings and he picks up his phone and hey, what's going on? And he starts having this conversation with this person. And I could tell right away that he's kind of helping this person do something. He's like, hey, Oh, yeah, you're gonna put that ceiling fan up today? Okay, right on. So you're looking at it right now? Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, so you should see like 3 wires. You should see like a white wire and a black wire and a green wire. Okay, yeah, yeah, you shut the power off, right? And so he's having this conversation, and as I'm listening to it, it like instantly transports me back into time from the multiple conversations I used to have with my own father. I had a very different kind of relationship with my dad. My father and my mother got divorced when I was young, and my father moved out of state when I was about 12, 13 years old. And so the relationship was very different after that. And as I got older, the relationship kind of morphed into when I had a problem, when I had something I needed fixed, or when I couldn't figure something out, I would call my dad. And my father wasn't one of those, I love you guys, that kind of a thing, right? But I remember one time in particular, I had a 77 Volkswagen Rabbit diesel. It was a heap, but it was my heap, right? And I was using it in college, and I needed a new alternator, but I didn't have enough money to go out and buy a new alternator, so I was going to fix this one. So I called my dad, and literally for 2.5 hours, he's walking me through the process of replacing the bushings in this alternator, and he's like showing incredible patience with me. No, 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 that's not what you want to do there. No, 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 you don't want to do that. No, stop right there. And I'm getting all frustrated. I'm like, I can't do this. He's like, hey, put the parts down, stand up, walk around for a while. We'll figure this out. And we did. And we did. And he was my go-to guy. And so when there was something like that would come up, I'd call my father. He's since passed away a few years ago. So I missed that part. I missed that. And I reflect back, and as I was listening to that gentleman in the gym, it really hit me hard. That is how my father said, I love you. He would walk myself and my brothers through a situation or a problem. My father, I felt, was one of the most intelligent men I have ever met when it came to fixing things and electronics, etc. And that was his way of saying, I love you. And as soon as I became aware of that, I could receive it 100% and meet the need that I needed, that I was really looking for and craving. I think we all are. So as I'm listening to this gentleman on the telephone in the gym, I'm just having this wonderful, remembrance of those numerous conversations of love I had with my father. And so I listened to the guy, and he ends up finishing it up, and so I'm listening. As I'm listening to him, I'm thinking he's probably talking to his son. He's probably talking to his son. He's walking his kid through it, and wow, he's doing a really nice job. So he gets all done with his call, and I went over to him and I told him exactly what I'm just sharing with you. That as I listened to him, it transported me back into time on my own conversations with my father. And I said, "Do you mind if I ask, was that your son?" And he said, "No, no, it wasn't my son. That was my best friend." He said, "I'm 72 years old, and he's been my best friend since we were in elementary school, and he's kind of slow, and he always calls me when he needs to get things fixed, and I just take the time and I walk him through it." And I said, "Man, you must really love him." He said, "I do. He's like my brother." And I said, "I'm so, so happy that you've had that experience." And he says to me, "Hey, thank you so much for sharing your story with me, because it really does help reinforce with me my friendship and my brotherhood that I have with my friend." And to me, that's what we're talking about. That's love. It comes in so many languages. And I think right now, especially at the time that we're in, people are feeling kind of isolated all over the place. People aren't able to go see their grandmothers or their mothers or their fathers and things like that. We have our own experience where it's very difficult for us to go see my mother or my mother-in-law. We need to remember and remind her there are many, many ways of saying I love you, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a letter, a gesture, a wave. There's many ways. So I think I want to share that with you, all of you today, that we all are looking for the same thing. We all want to feel love. We all want to love. And it's more than just, I love you. There are many ways that we can express that with one another. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I also wanted to say, hey, thank you so much for the love that so many of you are sending out to me following these videos. I really enjoy doing them. And I just wanted to say, much love. Have a great, great day.